Warning, about to be adult talking language, whatever you need to say. It's G4, motherfucker. I am G4 Bubba C. This is Nerding and Burning, episode, or I should say season 2, episode 4. It was a good day. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this social media. Facebook, G4 Bubba C. IG, G4 Bubba C. Twitter, G4 Bubba C. Snapchat, Bubba C G4. Line, G4 Bubba C, or just Bubba C on there. PlayStation Network, G4 KNG DDY 420, which is King Daddy 420. G4 KNG DDY 420. Capital, all that's capital. Twitch is G4 Bubba C. Zelo, G4 Bubba C Jr. Clash of Kings, Bubba C on there. Kingdom 1209. G41 is the alliance that I'm in. YouTube, I got 2 channels. We have G4 Bubba C Jr., which is my, one I've had before this one. And the other one is G4 and 1 Outlook. That's G4 AND1 space OUTLOOK Outlook. G4 and 1 Outlook. Spotify is G4 Bubba C. You can see my stuff on there too. Speaking of Spotify, you can catch this podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Overcast, and now also on G4 and 1 Outlook on YouTube. I know it's been a minute since I put a podcast out. A lot of stuff and shit has been happening since we're talking like adults. A lot of shit has been happening, not bad shit, just word stuff. There's been some wild shit, weird shit, crazy shit, good shit, fun shit. Been a wedding. All kinds of stuff that's been going on. What y'all been up to? How's the rest of the world seeing the world? Wedding happened, like I said. My brother got married. So we're going to get started with the weird shit. Let's get right into it. This election, this shit is fucked up. The fucking election, as we call it. The whole system of voting is fucked. It needs to be, you can't rehaul it. I guess you can, but it's just fucked. You can't have honest nothing no more. Either rigged, paid for, or something. I'm just going to say, get this shit done. Let's move on. Keep it moving as Americans. Like we always do. No matter who wins, America will keep going. And another weird shit. This is the weirdest, not weirdest shit, but probably the weirdest shit I've seen. It's called Twinkie cereal. We were going to, we were walking through Walmart. Me and my brother and his 3 sons were, and rolled up to an aisle and this damn Twinkie cereal sitting there. Never seen that shit in my life. Some people said they liked the idea of it. Me, I'm like, man, that's just weird. So I didn't fuck with it. I looked at it and just said, look, bro, some 2020 shit right here. And they were like, huh? They looked at it too. Even some more weirder shit. Me and G4 DLC, my brother's PlayStations, both fucked up. It was the same thing. Just different parts of it, I guess, were fucked up on his and mine. So I was just sitting there. I was like, man, because all I could do is watch YouTube. So I was like, man, fuck, what's it gonna hurt to try something? So I started looking up stuff on YouTube. I seen it could have been a couple things. You do this, you do that. If it's not this, it's that. You know what I'm saying? That type shit. And so I tried it one more time. I put my disc in and it read unrecognizable disc. So I took the disc out. Tried everything they said to do on YouTube. It didn't work. I was like, man, fuck. So I'm going to have to break this bitch down, clean the lens, and everything. That was my next step. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to read these comments while I sit here. I ain't doing nothing else, so, because I already settled to just breaking it down and cleaning it. It was making weird noises when I go to start it, like put the disc in, it wouldn't read an unrecognizable disc. So I was like, alright, I read the comments. one of the first couple ones that comes up, it says, before you try all this stuff, do it like the old PlayStation 2, where you can stand it up on its side or whatever. It said stand it up on its side. So I stood it up on the one side. I was like, man. I took the disc out and it said put the disc back in once you stand it up. So I stood it up, put the disc back in. It didn't make the noise no more. I'm like, alright, cool. And then they read unrecognizable disc. I was like, fuck. So I read more into the comment, and then somebody said something to him, and he said back, if it don't work, take the disc out, flip it the other way, and hope like heck it works. If not, pretty much got to break it down, get into the disc reader, the lens of that, clean that, and if it's not, that doesn't help when it cleans, you know, check the little rollers inside, make sure they're still good, and then you would have to start replacing stuff if all that was messed up. So I flipped it over the other way, put the disc in, didn't make no noise. I'm like, yes. Fucking loaded up. I was like, fuck yeah. So I run up there to tell D4 Dilly see ya. I was like, hey, check this out. So we go try his. Made like more noise than mine did. Mine was just like having a hard time reading it. It was like click, 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 like it was like the old school CD players, you know. You put like, you know, you have like 5 or 6 CDs in the old school one you could have for your house. Get that, and it was clicking like, you know, like it was having a hard time reading it. Anyway, so I stood up one side, took the disc out, stood it up on one side, then turned around, and that didn't work. So I was like, damn it. So I took it out, put it back in there, you know, flipped it over and put it back in on the other side, and it didn't work. So we're like, fuck. So we're like, alright, we gotta definitely break yours down, you know, and clean it up. Anyway, mine was, so I come back to my house that night, and I'm like, alright, cool. I sit there and played mine, I don't know, not constantly, but I played it because I ain't played in a while, for like 2 weeks, and my brother finally brings it down here the other day. He's like, alright, we're going to work on it. Actually, it was yesterday. Today is November 6th, I think they said, so it was the 5th. He brought it down here. We started working on it. You know, he watched the videos on YouTube. We broke it down, got into the lens cleaner, cleaned the lens, and if it won't that, and he cleaned his whole PlayStation while I had it open. And if it won't going to be that, he's had to start replacing shit. So he cleaned it all up, nice up, with air duster and some good alcohol. Like the higher alcohol you have, the better off you will be using when you clean your PlayStation. If anybody watches this or hears this, and on YouTube, sorry, I had to pause when I was reading something. Use higher percentage alcohol. It's better off. If you don't use no more than less than 70%. If you use the higher percentage of it, you don't have to wait as long for the alcohol to dry. But if you lower you go along, you have to wait before you put it back together and run it, because you don't want none of that getting all wet in there. But we had some air duster, or whatever you call them, compressed air, little cans. We had that. Alcohol. He breaks his down last night, gets down to the lens, cleans the lens with the alcohol. It's probably, I don't know, about 11 o'clock. So we get up, go back up to his house, plug it in. We're like, yeah, that's going to work. We get up there, put the CD in, and don't make the noise it was making. So we're like, alright, it's progress. Don't read the disc. It says unrecognizable disc. So I was like, alright, so I seen this thing on YouTube. I'll show it to you. This is what I did to it the other day, and it didn't work. So we standing up on one side, didn't make the noise. We're like, alright, cool. So we put the disc in, unrecognizable disc. So we take it out again, flip the PlayStation the other way, and it did unrecognizable disc again. So my brother's like, man, fuck. He ejects the disc, smacks, you know, hits the top of the PlayStation, puts the disc back in, bongo, it works. Just a little, give it a little hammer. Hammer will fix it. So he put it in, and we wound up playing Grand Theft Auto till like probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. With our friend Murder X27 on the game. We played with him. Pause. We played the game with him. You'll be able to see that video on our channel too, the G4N1 Outlook channel. For the cleaning of the PlayStation, I got to load it up and put it on there. meant to say earlier that that's what we've been working on. I ain't been on here. That's one of the things I've been with you with is the YouTube channel. Got one strike for using the F-bomb in the title, so I learned my lesson. Thanks to Glitch YT, my nephew. Some good shit has happened too. Don't get it twisted. If you listen to all them stories in the long run, it works out, for the good. There's weird shit stories. So we all went up to Hellmart, aka Walmart, one weekend as a whole family. Me, my brother, his mom, or our mom, his old lady, their 3 kids. We all went up there. We all were doing shopping. We all got separated. And on the way back down, we see the sign. Me and my mom did. It said estate sale. So I was like, Mom, you want to stop? She's like, yeah, let's go. So we busted a U-turn. Not busted. We did a U-turn and come back. And like I was driving like I used to. We did a U-turn and come back. We pull up to it. We start looking around. And this is another thing about yard sales. Anybody listen? You had a yard sale? You're there to get rid of the shit. Not make money. You want to get rid of the shit. Don't charge people arm and leg. These people nowadays, they charge tons at yard sales. Not even a yard sale. Anyway, the best deal they had was a refrigerator that had $25 on it. I figured they're higher priced than everything else. Either that thing was good and they were getting rid of it, or it wasn't worth it. So we asked about it, and they said, like 5 minutes late, this dude right here, and they pointed to the guy. He's like, he just got it. It's like, all right, cool. So we walk around, look a little bit more, and I see 2 tuners and 2 JBL speakers that were sitting, for sale in the wire. So I was like, shit. Hey, Mama, you asking how much this is? So he's like, $50 for all of it. I'm like, all right, hang on. So I had to console, how you say the word, my stereo guy, G4 Dilly C. He said he went over there and looked at it. I was like, this is what it is. And he wants $50 for it. He's like, yeah, it's worth it. Try to offer him 40, 45, see what he wants. And so I did. The guy was like, no, I think it's, $50 is good for both these tuners and 2 JBLs and a wire. And it had all the remotes and all that. So like, all right. I kind of looked at him like, you really? And I was, instead of arguing, I was like, all right. It was toward, end of the day. We had to, we're eventually going to go play cards with Hippie later that night. But anyway, he was like 50, so I gave him the 50. We loaded it up, headed home, brought it home, went to set it up. I didn't have enough stuff to do it properly, like, the shelvings and stuff. I was like, damn it. And then I think his old lady yelled down, Nettie and Clayton got a table, like a TV stand, that's black, all black, and it's got glass, and it can hold a TV, and, all that. I was like, all right. And I didn't, how am I going to get it here? So Nettie messaged me. She's like, do you want this? I'm like, Nettie and Clayton. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right. They're like, all right, we'll hold it for you. So like 2 days later, like that Monday or Tuesday, it was actually, it could have been Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, I rode down to their house Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. I rode down to the house, got it, shot the stuff with them a little bit, come on back home, cleaned it up, and it's in my room now. It's got the PlayStation on it, it's got the radio on it, speakers on the side, the TV on it. Thank you, Nettie and Clayton. So now I'm not just nerding and burning, I'm nerding and burning and jamming. Yeah. Now we get into the card game. My buddy Hippie, he was having a card game the other night. And me and G4 Dilly C went there. Before we got there, we went to Food Lion and he got 5 pounds of shrimp, 4 seasoned with Old Bay, 1 seasoned, no seasoning. 1 pound no seasoning, 4 pounds with Old Bay. And you got some chips, some churros, some drinks, some beer. You know, went over there, started playing. You know, we got there. Buck was there, fuck a buck. That's what we call him. His son, Young Buck, we call him that. Hippie and his whole family. And we bull crapped with him. I'll say bullshitted with him for a little bit. So then we sit down and play cards. Play cards for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, man, we're getting hungry. So Hippie hops up and goes cook a seafood boil. It had mussels, shrimp, potatoes, corn, had all that in it. So while that's starting to cook and heat up, he's like, all right, let's get back to playing cards. So we played cards for how long that took to fully get done. Make sure it was good for everybody to eat. And once it was done, we started plowing through it. That shit was, I shouldn't call it shit. That food was fire. It was delicious. So we got done eating. You know, we all got full. Everybody took a cigarette break at the end. Got our drinks, come back to the table. Played for another couple hours. Started munching again, you know. Just get up, you know, people out, throw their hands down, get up. Go get something to eat, get your drink. So then we wound up playing till like 11:30, something like that, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And we're like, me and my brother, we got to go because we had to go hunting the next morning. We didn't get out there early. So we got out there, left out of there, headed home. And that was a night of playing cards. You can check that on G4 and Out1 Outlook also. That's G4 AND1 OUTLOOK. G4 and 1 Outlook is the channel. And now, some more good shit. The wedding. Wedding stuff, wedding stories. We'll start with the bachelor party. I don't know if I talked about this last podcast. I had it written down. I don't know if I spoke about it or not. So, as many of y'all know, G4, my brother had a wedding. He got married, so you gotta have a bachelor party. So, we go up, have, a dinner. Went to Hooters for dinner. We're just gonna take him for dinner. Nobody, it was kind of spur of the moment, so everybody wasn't like, all right, let's go do this. Anyway, we get there, we're like, all right, well, everybody, eats their food, has a good time. The homie Schizo pays for it. Like, all right, we're out of here. We got out of there. And like, let's go up to the club. So we wound up saying, all right, we wound up going up there for a little bit. We're all having fun, doing what you do there. And then this weird guy comes into the club, like everybody that was with us was like, yo, except for maybe two people were like, yo, watch this guy. Because he was like, he'd be staring in the mirror, just staring in the mirror and like looking at himself, like watching the whole club. He kept running in and out, doing weird shit. Like, so my boy Carter goes, yo, watch this guy. When we get out of here, watch him. And then, so we're getting ready to exit. And the bouncer's like, yo, y'all just be safe. Because we got talking to him, and he was pretty cool. And he's like, y'all be safe. And then, so my boy Schizo goes, gets me. We're all standing there. We're like, all right, let's go. So we go to leave, and the guy comes back on the moped. Right by us. So we're like, all right. Everybody on point. So, start walking to the car. He pulls in the parking lot. And he pulls like, we're going like walking this way, like, walking to leave, go to our cars, go around the building, and he's right there on this moped, like standing beside it. So Schizo was out in front of us. He's like, yo, PDFA. Let's pay the fuck attention. So he was like, all right. So I go start my car, come back, like, all right, come on. Schizo and John come out. Biggin, I should say. I shouldn't call him. Biggin come out. Biggin goes to our car. So I gotta take a piss. So he goes to take a piss real quick. Schizo waits up because he rides home with Carter. Carter and Dilly are coming out. They're right there with us, but they're paying attention. But they're talking, laughing. We all had a good night. So get John and Dilly in the car. and I'm, standing there bullshitting with Steven to make sure they get in the car safe and pull off. So they pull off, and Biggin's still standing at the door and look outside the car, because Steven yells something to him, like, Skeezo yells, "All right, y'all," and then he sees John hop out the car, and then Carter slams on brakes, like right outside the club, and then Skeezo's like, "Hey, ha!" And he's pointing and he's yelling. We're like, "What?" And John walks like halfway between us and where Skeezo and Carter are in the road, stopped, and all we hear is, "Get in the fucking car, let's go!" John's like, "All right." Biggin's like, "All right." So he hops in the car. We fucking roll out. And then we got down the road. Everybody made it home safe, so it was a good night. Everybody had a designated driver. We were good. Everything was good. We get home, and everybody checks in with everybody. Like, "Hey, everybody's good, everybody's good." So it was a good night. Thank you, Skeezo. Great time, Carter. Great time, Biggin. Great time, Dilly. Everybody was there. Great time. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into the wedding. You go from, bachelor to the wedding. The wedding was held on October 10th, 2020, at G4 and B's house. It was a good time. You can see pics and videos of the wedding on our channel again, G4and1 Outlook. That's G4and1 Outlook. OUTLOOK. Alright, the day before, we did practice, and we were doing all the things to get the wedding right. Things, putting chandeliers up. You'll see it if you're on Facebook or YouTube. You go on YouTube. We did a couple videos. So we get everything set up. Getting everything set up, and finally, they were like, "Hey, yo, we got to do practice." And all the groomsmen were like, "Practice! Practice!" Well, all the groomsmen wound up making it. Sorry. All the groomsmen wound up making it, except for one, Skeezo. And, like, alright. So we went on and did the practice, and all but one of the bridesmaids were here. So we did the practice, it all worked out, everybody knew where they had to stand. We did it again to make sure, we did the whole walk through everything, to make sure everybody knew where you had to be, and all that, everything was good. The second time, everybody nailed it. We didn't have to do it again. So everybody's like, alright, and the preacher's like, alright, so what song do y'all want to walk out to? People started, yelling things. I yelled Funky Cole Medina. They're like, no. So they're like, come on, y'all, we gotta think of a song. And then Today Was a Good Day popped in my head. So, like, as soon as they were done getting married, that's the song they're walking out to. So we did it on the second walkthrough, where as soon as they said, everything's done, and they started to walk away, Neek hit the play button and said, played the song, and hit just perfect. He did great. So, wake up next morning, had to do a few things. We knew we had to do it from the night before, so we did that. Getting it done, and we realized, man, fuck, it's gonna rain. So we had to shift everything, moved all the chairs from the outside to the underneath this big ass tarp B had bought, which was a great move. So we did that, moved everything in, everybody moved everything in, and was here to help. Got all that done. People finally started showing up. Everybody was high-fiving, talking. This is all on YouTube. You can see it. G4and1 Outlook. And so about 1 o'clock, they let the brooms and bridesmen know, hey, yo, it's getting close to time. Y'all need to start separating from everybody, getting your shit, getting ready to move, to do this and do that. So we got in there. Get something to drink. We got in there, and everybody was dressed. We never walked down what we're about to do for the wedding, so it was all just on the fly. We come out the door, come down the steps to the wedding walk. It wound up turning out really nice for a spur of the moment, quick plan. Hey, you gotta do this. Nobody, we knew whoever walked with, the line, but we didn't practice it. So we get up there, everything goes great. And then they start the wedding. Everybody rises, and then the dude forgot to tell everybody to sit down. So there's video out there. If you have video, anybody hears this, please send it to B and G4 Dilly C. I didn't even get good video. I forgot to record everything. Luckily, my cousin hit record on the wedding, but Clayton blocked it because he's standing up because nobody sat down. But besides that, it was great. You know, the whole thing was fun. You know, that was my first time being the best man, so all I do was hand the ring off, make sure I was there, make sure G4 Dilly C wanted to be there. So we go in, you know, get all the pictures, all that shit, you know, we're done. And finally we come out, they're like, all right, you can eat. Well, when we come out to go sit down to eat, my brother told Neek again, look, play the song Always on Time when me and my old lady come out. So they get ready to come out, he clicks the song, they come down, works perfect. Like it's all on video, it works perfect. Thanks to Slipknot. And the video was done, I mean, all the pictures that you see on there will be done by Donna Ballard. And Slipknot, aka Brian Stone, I'll call him Slipknot because that's what his Grand Theft name is. Brian Stone did the video that's on there, most of it. Alright. I forgot what the hell I was talking about. Anyway, to do that, we sit down, they're like, alright, y'all can eat now. So we go to eat. And with the food was done by Nettie and Clayton. Thank you for that. That food was great. It was on point. The DJ was good. You know, him and my brother talked, you know, they were good. Good music, Dilly C and B picked. Great drinks, thanks to B and G4 Dilly C again. No issues. Thank you all. Thanks security, which is G4 Carter, Biggin, ACE, aka Barack, aka Rick Rude, which is the dope, and Chang Cuz, Jebediah Chang Cuz. What it do, man? He was security. Great job. And the bartender. What it hitting for? Alright. So, you know what I'm saying? All that worked out. Everything. After party, all that. No issues. All of it was great. Great time. And that was the wedding. You know, there's no big stories to tell. Everybody had a great time. All that was good. The food, it was banging. We had barbecue, like old Southern, like not old Southern, but Southern dinner, like food. Thanks to everybody that was there, involved, showed up. Congrats to G4 Dilly C and his new bride, B. Alright, so that's done. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the shout outs since we're all done now with that. Oh, I'll say this too, if anybody wants to sponsor this, we're looking for sponsors. I'm looking for sponsors. Hey, it'll help, right? Holla at your boy, G4 Bubba C. So let's get into the shout outs. Let me also say this before I get a shout out. Thanks to all that have listened. Thanks to those who give feedback. It helps to know what I need to improve on. Thanks to people that give me stats. Sorry I couldn't use them this time. I forgot them. I didn't know where to look for them. Sorry, Miss Jade. I will use them next time anybody sends them in. Things like that I like adding to the show. Alright, now we actually get into the shout outs. Shout out Hippie. Get well soon. I look forward to taking your ducats, man. He's a Hippie. I told you a story about the card game. He was our old boss. He's a family member we've known for a while, a friend of ours. Everybody give Hippie a shout out. Hello, Hippie. Oh, honey hole. Alright. Now let's go. Glitch YT. That's my nephew. King Mo, 18. The nephew. You can catch them on YouTube. Sonny. That's my nephew. G4 Dilly C. The king. G4 Carter. The big nigga. And his family. G4 Schizo and his family. Biggin and his family. Notorious Diesel. Murdex 27 with an X, not an R. Murdex 27. Fate, Primo, LK, Miss Jade, Eula, Romans, Romy Rome, homie from the old school. Cuz, Chang, what it do, man? To my mom and dad, thank you for putting me on this earth. R.I.P. Pop, we miss you, love you. To my mom, thank you for everything. Because of you, we're all here now. That's everybody you see in the pictures and video, G4 and 1. Because of you, because of me and my brother. Alright, so let's get into the song of the week. Like I said, at the wedding, I just blurted out today was a good day and they used it. So that will be the song of the week. Is Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. Song of the week, song of the podcast. I had to change that because I don't do them every week no more. It was a good day by Ice Cube. Now we'll go into quote of the podcast. Get in the fucking car, which was because of the bachelor party at the end. We needed to get out of there. Skizzo was telling Big N to get in the fucking car. So that'll be the quote. Add a little something different this week. It's thought of the podcast. I learned this from Pitbull watching Drink Champs with Nori and DJ EFN. I watched their podcast. This is where I got this. Pitbull says, with enough patience and enough Vaseline, the elephant can fuck the ant. He said it. I just, it popped in my head, stuck in my head. Movie of the week, Lawless. I don't know if I've used this one before, but it's one of my favorites. So I added it again. And you know what the quote is for G4. Hold my dick. Hold my dick. And this is Nerd and Burning. I am G4 Bubba C.